Good evening, sisters and brothers. Some things in life are optional, and some things in life are mandatory. Taking our next vacation is optional. Building a personal library and becoming an excellent reader is mandatory. It is absolutely essential for your success to make a reading habit. 85% of average population is not reading after they finish their exam in the universities. On the other hand, a self-made millionaire reads one book for every week and does 52 books in a year. So here he makes the difference in his approach and the decision making and updating his knowledge in this bigger competitive world. So this is Soundaraj, and my aim for creating such platform is to reach the 80% of the people who looks for solution in their day-to-day life, though they have every solution in their hand. The series of episodes are to cover one interesting and important thoughts of a great influencer, Stephen R. Covey, in a new style. So here we go with the first episode of First Things First. So everybody is fighting with time in their life. Why is it that so often our first things are in first? So I need more time. I want to enjoy my life. I always running around. I never have time for myself. Why do I procrastinate? On the other hand, why do I procrastinate? Though I have time, why do I procrastinate? There is too much of stress on everybody, and there are too much to do. So everybody is fighting with time, so much stress on all. Self-management and the time management is becoming a challenging task for everyone. So here is a good news that a magic pill called Fix is being introduced by Chinese, and it is under almost in the final stage of research. Maybe we will get this pill before the corona vaccine comes into the market. Okay, what is the interesting thing about this Fix? It means it improves your brain utilization up to 30%. To understand this, you need to understand how our brain is made up of. So our brain is like 10% and 90%, you can say. The 10% is the active brain, conscious brain, and the 90% is subconscious brain. So most of the people, like more than 80% of the population, are using maybe 2% to 3% of their brain. And the most intelligent fellow in the world uses maybe up to 10% of the total brain. This pill activates the brain and increases the utilization from 10% to by additional 30%, which is called 40%. Yeah, intelligent man in the world can utilize his brain up to 40, and an average person can utilize up to 35%. Is it really an exciting news? For me, it is yes. If even if it is very expensive, I would be ready to take a loan and buy this pill to activate my brain more and utilize the brain utilization capacity. So when the news is so exciting, but the sad part of is this, it is a fake news. It is a fake news. There is no shortcut in the life to reach the top. So you have to work. There is no shortcut. You have to make a strategy, a meaningful strategy, or a meaningful approach, a principle based approach to walk you through in the life. Okay, then what we are going to discuss here in a bird's eye view, I will show in the slide the introduction about this concept, a new way of seeing the world, the habits, what are habits, the space between the stimulus and response, and the circle of concern and circle of influence. Okay, here we go with the introduction. The first thing is we need to understand what are the first things in your life. What are first things in your life? Maybe it is changing person to person, but there are maybe 4 to 5 things you can list out as the first things in your life. Are these first things the care, are receiving the care, the importance, or your time? The most of the people say no. So for me, my first things are like my career, my family, my health and wealth, and finally a financial freedom. So if you see that all the time, whether you are able to focus or give the priority according to your choice, certainly not. If working harder, smarter, and faster won't solve the problem, then who will solve the problem or what will solve the problem? And we are also going to see that we can control our choices, but not the consequences of choices. To make my life, make my things as first, I can take a lot of choices, but the consequences also will follow that what I am choosing. Like if I'm carrying a one stick, the other end of the stick will follow me. The one stick, one portion of the stick where I am holding, it's my choices, and the other end of the stick is consequences of my choices. Then who can make the right choice for me, or right choice for you? That we are going to see in this episode. And what you will get out of this learnings to strike a balance between important things and non-important things, and or every things that you are going to encounter in your life. It's going to be about a principle center approach and a new way of influencing your life. So all those things will be focused in this episode, how to take forward your life happily by balancing everything. So in general, it is going to be a inside out approach. Okay, before try to understand what is this approach is, we need to understand a scientific term uh, that I will show you. Then basically, how do you see the world? You see in this pictures of colors. There are so many colors listed. But if a woman sees this, she will name every color as a different thing. But a man sees a bunch of colors as red and a bunch of colors as violet and pink, orange, yellow. He can only broadly classify. When you change the picture 180-degree, if you rotate the picture 180-degree, then they will feel crazy about each other. The men will say that so many names for the color, and the woman will say that why these men are like this? Men are always men. So this is called, we say, the world. So when we see the in a different angle, it is a completely different. This scientific term called how you see the world is paradigm. You might have heard about this word paradigm, how you are seeing the world. The next thing is the paradigm shift. You need to understand the paradigm shift. So when the people started seeing the things differently, this is called paradigm shift, and inventions came into the life. To the life of many, the invention has come. The new Newton explained the gravity. It means once he was sleeping under the apple tree, when the apple fallen on his head, he started thinking why the apple is falling on my head. But the apple was falling in the head since right from the creation of the earth. But nobody thought in a different way. But he started thinking in a different way, why it is not going upwards, why it is coming downwards. So then he started explaining the gravity theory after various hurdles. And based on this gravity theory only, the many scientific facts are being founded. I mean, this is the basic foundation for the many basic science. And Marconi invented radio when she see the sound as waves. So, you know, one fact, when Marconi has announced to his friends privately that I am going to communicate without cables. I am going to communicate from one part of the other part of country that without any cables. The people started thinking, "Oh, my friend, what happened to him?" So they, without his knowledge, the Marconi has been taken to the hospital to a psychiatrist by his friends. And with such a love on Marconi, the friends acted like this. Then, when the story is like this, he has introduced the radio into the world by when he started seeing the things differently. The thing is, the Wright brothers also invented aeroplane by seeing the birds were flying. So all these things are called the paradigm shift. You don't see the world in the same way you are seeing. You just start thinking in a different way, then you will see a complete different world. So the problems, whatever you're facing in your life, cannot be solved at the same level of thinking where we have created them. So you need a different approach. It needs a different approach in our activities and different approach in our visualization. So this is called paradigm shift. So once you start, you change your angle of seeing, then you may be able to solve your problem in a different strategy. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about yeah, two different approach. There are two different approach. I cannot say that this is bad approach and this is the best approach, but both are same. But which one is the best? That we have to choose. So if we see our problem in a wrong way, then that itself a problem. So I would explain about it in the two columns about these two approach. Then you can decide which one is best for you. Personality ethics. Personality ethics means kind of a quick fix programs. If your child is coming crying and disturbing you when you are doing important work, and you can give her a chocolate and see, go ahead. This is a very quick fix program. It's maybe a right for thing, but why the child has created a problem? What then? If you go into the detail, you pass your work for some few minutes, and she maybe you're doing some important. You maybe encountered an important problem, so she is coming and trying to approach you for a solution, but you are managing with her toffee. So which is a quick fix program. Similarly, when your spouse is coming up with an issue, or you found caught red-handed by doing something wrong, then you are making a quick fix program like giving the expensive gift and solving the problem for sometimes, or subsidizing the problems at that point of time. It is a quick fix program. If you see in the wrong run, if you are using the same strategy, then it may not be wise. Or see also a human being, or he also your spouse, also a human being, he can understand or he can understand that what you are doing. So it may not work in a long run. So it is outside in approach. That is a situation based approach. There are strategies to influence the people based on their weakness. It's okay for a short time gain, as I said, and it is a deceptive approach. It fails definitely in a long run. The people can understand you if you are following the personality ethics. Unfortunately, there are so many strategies how to influence. In the sales, you can see how to influence, how to sell the people, and with by lot of offers, or so many free gift items, etc., etc. There are so many things. I don't say that everything is wrong, but it depends of your choice, how you are going to make this choice. The another approach is called character ethics. There is no shortcuts. There is no shortcut for everything. There is a fundamental rule on this character ethics. Influence from your character goodness. Anything, if you're getting caught red-handed, then you influence from your character goodness. Why you explain why where some it went wrong and what it went wrong. So everything you explain, then make it as a solid foundation to resolve this problem. Synergetic, it is a synergetic thing, like a win-win approach, and it is a most elegant way also. And for this you need a fundamental change of your approach. The world is full of quick fix programs, how to resolve your problem, very short method in 5 days. This 5 days you attend my program, you can make a big change in your life. No, it's not like that. It is a fundamental change of approach. This is called a new level of thinking. So you need a new level of thinking to make a fundamental change. The significant problems cannot be solved at the same level of thinking where we have created them. It needs an inside out approach. It's a completely different strategy to resolve our problems that we are facing in our life. So for understanding this, we need to understand an important terminology called principles. What are principles? Principles are natural laws. So these natural laws can be defined by country to country, different based on their culture. So it is impossible for us to break the law. So the natural laws cannot be broken. We can break ourselves against the law. It's a guidelines for a human conduct. Some of the examples of these natural laws or principles are a principle of fairness, out of which are the whole concept of the equity and justice. The integrity, that is the foundation of trust on ourselves and others. The integrity, the personal integrity is also very much important. If I am trying to make a decision that I will wake up in the morning 5 o'clock and I will start working using my first 3 hours of the day, potentially, if I am making a decision, I have to follow 5 o'clock. But if you're failed in your past approach, past same kind of affirmations, you have failed, then your personal integrity is on the weaker side. You yourself won't trust you. So you have to build your personal integrity on yourself and on others also. This is integrity is a principle. And human dignity. All human are equal and the creator created them. There is no black and no white. There is no imbalance between the black and white. All human are same, or no imbalance between the rich and poor. Everybody is same. The woman and men, everybody is same. This is a human dignity. Service, the idea of making contribution, not only by money, by sharing your knowledge and sharing, guiding somebody who are in trouble and making somebody more confident and influencing somebody in a positive way, in a synergetic way. Everything is service. Similarly, we can say like quality or excellence, potential, patience, nurturance, encouragement, and so on. So the principles are not practices; they are fundamental root. It means the practices will be on the outside. It is, if you see, assume as a tree, the root will be principles, values, and purpose of the life. The practices are the one which you are showing outside. So there is a saying that a good tree cannot give a bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot give a good fruit. This is a principle, which is a natural law. So in a quick fix program, the practices will be outside, will be known outside. You will change everything on your practice, not on the principles, not on the foundation of the principles. If you start using your principles, then your approach will be different. The practice will be different. So win over yourself. So to it is the first thing is that in the principle centered approach, you have to win over yourself. To win over yourself in any given situation, you need a knowledge about the situation and the skills to how to resolve and the desire to resolve. The knowledge means what to do and why to do. Why should I involve there and what I should do under this situation. The skills are how to do, how to execute this my knowledge in a synergetic way to resolve this situation. These are our skills. And desire, what to do. I want to do a strong desire, anything to do and anything to execute. You need a strong desire. Without this desire you cannot do anything. Even if I'm trying to share this knowledge, I love to share the knowledge, but I love to inspire people what I got from what I got inspired, but I need a desire. It took little long time to make my desire stronger to influence or to prepare such a presentation and deliver in the common platform. So the desire is also very much essential to win over yourself. So if you plot in a circles, three circles of knowledge, desire, and skills, the intersection point is called habits. These habits are very essential. The habit is the fundamental everything. So when you have a knowledge, skills, and desire in a balanced way, the center one is called habit. You can make this as a habit. And also you need to know about the effectiveness. The habit is not also enough. You need an effectiveness. What is effectiveness? The performance and maintenance, the balance, the perfect balance between the performance and maintenance. If I buy a car, I need to do the periodic maintenance. And if I have a goose which is giving a golden egg every day, then I need to take care of the goose also every day to get the golden egg consistently. To get a sustained results, I need to make a balance between the performance and maintenance. This is called effectiveness. The results, it's the golden egg or the sustained results or performance, like the good performance of my bike or car. And nurturing, that is the keep taking care of the goose or the machine in your industry or the car. So the performance and maintenance should be in a balanced way. That is, the production and the production capability should be in a balanced way. In this balance is called effectiveness. So both habits and effectiveness are necessary to make a great success in your approach. So here with this, you will have a gate of change. The gate of change. The outside with this approach, the outside world is so much fruitful. The habits of your private victory will be your with your habits of your private victory, the growth will be evolutionary and the net result will be revolutionary. Take the key which is in your hand and open the door and go outside the world with a new way of seeing, that you will start inspiring other people and also you will make your life balanced. Okay, now what are all the stages of achievement that you are going to uh, that you are going to get in your life? The stages of achievement with this approach will be the dependence. First, you are in a dependent stage. You are depending on somebody for everything, and you will reach uh, independent. You will reach independent from the state, from dependence to independent. So now you are not going to end. Once you have become independent, then I'm going to do everything. Then it is no, it's not that. Then the third one is the interdependence. So first dependence to independent, then interdependence. It means you are living in a society where different kind of people and different services, different culture, everything. So you need to interdepend on everybody. That have you cannot have an independent life on this. So you need to interdependent about everything. So in all these three stages, you will achieve with the principle centered approach. The private victory increases self confidence. The first step towards this is the private victory, the unique contribution capacity, and less care on what others think about you, and vice versa. Once you started seeing the world differently in terms of principles, you will not worry about what others talk about you. On the other hand, when some accusation or some issues are created by the neighbors or your colleagues, then you will start seeing them differently, and why these people are making, because their approach is like this, and so on. So your way of seeing and approaching the problem will be different, and you will define yourself from within rather than by others' opinion. You will not ask others' opinion to make any decision. You may ask. I don't say that don't ask any opinion. Then it will be an independent situation. But to make a one step forward itself, our mind immediately will think what others will say. What others will say. You ask or call your friend immediately. Shall I do this? Shall I do this? No, you are very much confident on your decision, and without affecting anybody, because when you make a principle centered approach, you will think in all angle. So how the situation is going to affect X, Y, Z, then based on that only you will take a decision. So you don't need to depend on others opinion for your decision. You will not build your emotional life on others weaknesses. The quick fix program always will work on others weaknesses. If a child is getting happy by toffee, then you will think about toffee only, not solving the root cause. If your spouse is getting happy by getting a nice gift, then you will think only about the gift, not about solving the problem, or not by balancing your life, balancing your faithfulness towards your spouse. The important thing, now we are coming to the important topic of this principle centered approach, the space. What is the space? The space between the stimulus and response. Between the stimulus and response, there is a space. If I'm walking in the street and I got injured with a small stone on this, then immediately I will shout, ha! That's because I'm getting hurt and it is a physical thing. Physically, I'm getting hurt. It is a spontaneous reaction in my brain works in such a way. It's every human brain works in such a way. It gives a spontaneous reaction. It is like a protection, self-protection, self-defense, like this. But in a mental situation, if somebody is torturing mentally, somebody is attacking, not attacking physically, but attacking mentally, then you have a time to decide how we are going to react. But there is you have a space. That space is between the stimulus and the response. The stimulus is somebody is attacking you mentally, and the response is after a pass, what you are going to react. For making this response fruitfully, wisely, and synergetically, you have your four human endowments. The human endowments are the self awareness about the situation, conscious and imagination, and independent will. Self awareness is our capacity to stand apart from ourselves and examine our thinking, our motives, our history, our scripts, our actions, and our habits, and our tendencies of that situation. It enables us to take off our glasses, like take off your glasses and see through you and see the glasses also by yourself. It means you should be knowing about yourself thoroughly before taking any reaction about that situation. Second is the conscience. It connects us with the wisdom of ages and the wisdom of our heart. It is our internal guiding system, Man Ki Baat, Manasachi kind of things. It is our internal guidance system which allows us to sense when we act or even contemplate acting in the way that's contrary to the principle. So principle, this conscious may be differing. So this natural law might be differing from the world to world. So in abroad countries, if a woman is drinking, it is not a bad habit. So it may be according to their culture, it is something different in a European or American countries. But if you are doing this in India, if you're going asking a well housewife and asking about this woman is drinking, what is about your character, it's immediately the paradigm changes. The paradigm shift happens about that woman. So so the things are changes based on your culture, those things. So you can act accordingly, conscious. This is your internal guidance system. You can think and you can see whether it is right or not, and ask yourself before taking this decision. Like the next is the imagination. Imagination is the power to envision a future state, to create something in our mind, and to solve the problem synergetically. The next one is the last one is the independent will. Is our capacity to act. It gives us the power to transcend our paradigms, to swim upstream, to rewrite our own scripts, to act based on the principle rather than reacting based on our emotions and circumstances. It is a gut feeling, we'll say, that independent will. I'm capable of doing. I will do this. That is called independent will. So, but you need to have all these four before you taking the decision. If you are missing the conscious and acting only based on your independent will, then you may become a Hitler. So you need to act self-awareness, conscious, imagination, independent will, all four in a balanced way to make this response. It may be like a too theoretical, but if you go into detail, so it is very essential to make a response. The response only is getting your life taking forward. So a policeman comes and asking you, maybe behaving rudely to you on one situation, you've done something wrong and he's saying this is wrong, then if you feel at that moment like spontaneously, if you're reacting badly, then it will bring you the consequences also. Before reacting badly, you understand that you done some mistake about a traffic signal or whatever. When you know that yes, I done a mistake, it's a self-awareness. The conscious says that also it is a big mistake, so and so you have to change. You have to think you have done a mistake, so you have to change your approach. Don't get angry because the policeman caught you. The thing is, the next is imagination. What will happen if I react like this? This is going to be the consequences. If I react like this is going to be a consequence. So the best way is that to how to take a decision based on your own experience on this kind of situation. I'm just giving an example about the policeman and you during the mistake times. And the last one is the independent will. So you can react. If still you feel that you need to react in an offensive way, you can do that and face the consequences. But when you all three are balanced, and the independent will also will be under control of you how to react. So if you done a mistake, you go and surrender. Yes, I done a mistake, so what is the punishment? I have to pay the fine. Okay sir, I will pay the fine and I will leave. Instead, if you are reacting differently, then the consequences will follow. So the same thing our Gandhiji was telling about the stimulus and the response. He given a powerful statement about the space. The powerful statement is that the British cannot take away our self respect and or nobody can make you a slave if you do not give it to them. If you do not give it your self-respect to others, nobody can take it from you. So this is a very powerful statement, and it has been accepted by worldwide. So in the wartime, in the independence time, so Mahatma Gandhiji's approach was very much essential for. It's very crucial for the British to go back from India. So this approach is our it is in the blood of Indians. So you have to take this approach to make your life peaceful and based on the principles, and to get a great success in your life. So I will go a little bit deeper in what is self awareness, which I also explained in the previous slide. It is our capacity to stand apart from ourselves and examine ourselves, self awareness, and take off our glasses and reveals mind coding to you. The self awareness is how your mind is programmed, that it will reveal about the program of your own mind, how you programmed your own mind, and increases the space between the response and the stimulus. So the space is keep on increasing. So you, when you start knowing the thing, if you have the knowledge about the situation and how you are going to be react on this, how you are capable to react on the situation, then it can increase your space to make a wise decision. The next is the conscious. It is the internal guidance system, the source from lifestyle and culture, and gives sense of unique gifts and mission. The next is the imagination. It is the power to visualize. Imagination means it is a power to visualize, to create something in our own mind and solve the problems synergetically by understanding and visualizing the future consequences of this action. And you can solve the problem synergetically and enable us to see ourselves and others differently and better than we are now. In the positive approach, we can see better than what we are now. To enable us to write a personal mission statement, set a goal, or plan a meeting. So in general, it is overall called proactive model. It is a proactive model. This proactive approach is the first step for the principle-centered approach. So when we understand this is a proactive and what is reactive, so we will compare what is reactive. So reactive is environmental or situation based. It is an outside in approach. Based on the situation, you will react. And a love of feeling, love is a feeling here. But when the feeling goes off, the marriage goes flat. So it is like a love is like infatuation. So she's beautiful. He is beautiful. He is handsome. He is smart. So based on that, the feeling is coming, and based on those emotions, or he has done a great help to me at that point, and you got emotional, and love has come. Then when the feeling goes off, the marriage goes flat. In a country like India, people will live like married singles when the love goes off. In a country like Europe or well-developed countries, they will go for the divorce. So this is the reactive approach of love. And economic slowdown can hurt them, and directly, and their spirit, body, soul also will get collapse when the reactive people are facing the economic situations. Focus of weakness. It focuses the weakness of other people and build a strategy to overpower them. And it is also gives a self-fulfilling prophecy. And how about a proactive approach? Proactive approach is a character-based, inside-out approach. Love here is a value-focused. Thinks about the welfare of our lovable, not based on the feeling. It's about welfare of lovable. Before make a decision on anything, you think about the other also, the opposite also. Okay, when I take a decision, what will happen to this? So it's always value-based. Love is a value-based according to the proactive approach. So economic situation is outside. They know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. So this is a proactive approach. Focus on principles and values. So we'll see what are all the proactive and reactive languages. So first, reactive language, there is nothing I can do. When you get a situation, you'll say, there is nothing I can do. I am what I am. I don't change anything. I am what I am. He makes me so mad. This crazy guy, he's making me so mad. I don't want to work with him. They won't allow that. So always you will try to find a reasons for approaching any problem. I have to do that because I'm forced to do that. I cannot do that because I'm not interested to do that. I must do that, otherwise I will face the consequences. If only I will enter into this step, otherwise I will not. So these are all the reactive language. On the other hand, the proactive language, how it will be? There is nothing I can do is a reactive language. The proactive approach would be, let us look our alternatives. What are the other possibilities to take this forward? I can choose a different approach. I can control my own feelings. Instead of reacting on somebody's feelings, I can control own my feelings. I can create an effective presentation. So I won't do a presentation, but no, I can create an effective presentation. This is the proactive approach. I will choose an appropriate response. Appropriate response, that is very essential in the proactive language. I choose the right choice. I prefer to do this. If only I will do this is a reactive language. Here is I prefer to do this. I will. So is also a proactive language. Yes, definitely I will do this. In a nutshell, the reactive people get enforced on their own paradigms, that is, their own point of view, not willing to change. Rather, they produce evidence to support their belief. This is the reactive people's basic character, and you could see that maybe we are also in the same reactive approach. Reactive people get enforced on their paradigms. Their point of view will not be changing. Whereas the proactive approach works on inside out paradigm with a positive energy. They will influence the negative situations to get dimness. So the proactive focus is called act. You have to act. It's from inside out. If you mark your concern in a circle, which is called circle of concern, then circle of influence has to come from inside. You have to influence the concern from your inside positive energy and the positive approach and positive self-awareness based on all four human endowments. You have to diminish the circle of concern. Whereas in the outside approach, like reactive focus, it will be acted upon. The situations will act on you. You will not act on the situation. The situations will act on you. The circle of concern will be increasing and the circle of influence will start getting shrink. So the positive energy boost your influence. If you face some serious problem, then if you are positive about it, that I will, like a reactive instead of reactive language, if you take a proactive language, then it will boost your influence. You will try to remove the concern or eliminate the concern completely with your circle of influence. And whereas the negative energy boosts concern. If you go and ask your opinion on a reactive guy, then the reactive guy definitely will say, no, 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 you cannot solve this problem at all. It is gone. So you have to do something. Like this, he will frighten you, then it will start reducing your circle of influence. So I'm not exaggerating about your friends are negative, but I'm saying the negative things which is around you will influence you to shrink your circle of influence. So react basically in a nutshell, the proactive focus is like you have to act. The reactive focus is that be acted upon, that you will get acted upon by the situation. The improving the circle of influence. Here are the important points, how to improve the circle of influence. Be an active listener. When somebody is talking to you, you don't interfere on them. You try to be an active listener. Active listener, when you are listening actively, you are giving a space. Your space is getting increasing, and when you listen completely, the paradigm about the situation will change completely. So before, with the first statement itself, if you are reacting badly, then you are also a reactive person. The situation will go very bad. So better to be an active listener and to be a more loving marriage partner in your personal life, in a marriage life. Be a more loving marriage partner. Instead of finding fault, be a loving more marriage partner and to try to forgive each other about their mistakes. And to be a better student, even if you are a student, to be a better student to your teacher. To be a more cooperative and dedicated employee. If you are an employee, so be more cooperative. If you are given a task, and try to take it forward. And in this lockdowns or in this economic slowdown time, if you are being more cooperative and a dedicated employee, there is a less chance for getting fired. So the to save your job, now you have to show your goodness and skills and how you are important for the company. That is very essential. So this principle center approach, the proactive approach, will help you to take a proper decision under these circumstances. So do not react badly. So situation is very bad. So you change your approach itself from fundamentally. Then your the such kind of situations like negative influences, negative world will not influence you under this situation. To be happy and to genuinely smile, always be try to be happy. Don't worry about other things, other negative effects, and always try to be happy and smile genuinely. When you smile genuinely itself, it will release positive energy from you, and even the guy who is sitting opposite to you with a negative mentality will feel happy about you, and you will attract based on the law of attraction, which is also a natural law, a principle. The law of attraction will attract goodness, like a positive things towards you. It is not like a superstition. It is a scientific fact that the positive energy attracts positive things. Making and keeping commitments to ourselves, and try with your marriage and family. So I would like to say so one example about making and keeping commitments to ourselves. I said already in this previous slide. So when you planning to wake up in the morning early, you if you are a good sleeper, if you want to sleep longer time and you're waking up only 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in this lockdown times, work from home times, then you make a commitment to yourself that okay, I will wake up tomorrow 7 o'clock, and try to follow the commitment and increase your integrity account. Personal integrity account has to create some value. If you are able to achieve consistently for 3 days that 7 o'clock waking up, then you will get confidence on yourself. Then you change your to 7 to 6. So why I'm telling is the first 3 hours is very much essential in a day. How you are going to work on the day. Those are the most productive hours. If you are waking up in the 5 o'clock, see all the self-made millionaires will wake up early in the morning, and they will do all the important things only in the first 3 hours to improve their own immunity levels. Immunity means I'm talking about in spiritual sense. You can negative energy to supersede the negative energy. So these 3 hours are very much important. If you are a sales professional, wake up in the morning and try to read something about the sales approaches. What are the fundamental things of sales? So those things you have to read. If you are in other side, like if you are a student, you start reading in the morning every 1 hour that what going to be important on this day. So anything if you make consistently in proactively, then you will increase your own integrity account. At the same time, your commitment to others also will improve. So first is the private victory, then it will be a public victory. Try with your marriage and family also. The same things. Circle of improving the circle of influence. Don't argue on others' weaknesses. If others are weakness about certain things, don't argue to superpower them on the particular incident. So don't, if you know that it is their weakness, be calm and make a principle-centered approach. Ask your conscience what to do on this. Don't get into a blaming game or accusing mode. That's you know already what I am talking about. And work on things you have control over. Work on yourself. The thing on control, you have only control on your own, not any other situation, not any other people. So work on the things you can control over, and you are responsible for your happiness or sadness. That responsible for everything, you are responsible. That you have to understand clearly. And summary: how do you apply these principles? Yeah, full day. Listen to your language. So to apply these principles into your life, you just make one day consciously listen to your language. Are you using if only? I can't. I have to. I will not. I am what I am, and so on. The reactive languages is a part of it. Then make a stop and try to give a stop for this. Don't talk when you are getting a reactive emotions. Just make a pause and think, then give a positive emotion. Identify a situation in the past. In that situation, you might have influenced very badly about by the situation. and you got completely collapsed. If that situation is coming in the near future, how you are going to react? You make a proactive plan. So how what you self awareness? What is your self awareness about that situation? And what is your independent will, whether you want to react positively or negatively? And same way in all the four human endowments, you just make a pause and make a proactive plan how you are going to react. In the near future, you handle the situation in a proactive approach and you will be successful. Select a frustrating problem in your life. Research whether this is a direct problem, that is a problem created by you, or indirect problem, or no control problem. You have done something and which is indirectly reflected on you. This is an indirect problem. There is no control problem. You cannot control anything. The coronavirus you cannot control. It is a no control problem. So such kind of things, you have to make a research in the frustrating situations in your life and identify the first step to take your circle of influence broader and step in immediately. That's very important. The procrastination should be avoided. Any decision if you are taking, step in immediately. So that's why I said the immediately you start listening your own language from tomorrow onwards, and make this as a practice for next 21 days to make a habit. And thank you for your listening. And then episode 2 will be very soon on the second step of a proactive approach. Thank you very much. And thank you, gentlemen.